Hi, I'm Ochman, and you're watching ESC Fan TV. Let's go.
Hello, welcome. It's Wednesday night and it is ESC Fan TV. Did you miss us or did you see us in Amsterdam? It was great to see so many of you there. Tonight, we're going to be reviewing 5 more entries in this year's Eurovision, looking at Greece, Switzerland, Finland, Armenia, and Poland. And also joining me, a superb panel of guests. You may be wondering where Stu is. Personally, don't tell anyone. I think he's down the bookies, putting bets on those great performances that we saw at Eurovision in concert last weekend. In the meantime, joining me, I've got a fantastic panel. It's good evening to Donna.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be here and looking forward to this great lineup.
Hey, good evening, Oben.
Just came back from work, so still having my dinner, but don't worry, you will have nothing less of my performance tonight, and I am ready.
Hey, it's a very good evening to Matt.
Hello guys, nice to see everyone.
Hey, and also joining us, it's the lovely Nicholas. Hey, Nicholas.
Hello, good evening. Looking forward to talking about some of the fantastic songs this evening.
Oh, it's great to have you on the show. Also joining us from Let Me Be the One, it's Martin.
Hi everyone, I was on show 1 and 2. We've got rid of all the dross and we're back to the good stuff again.
Oh, I don't know. I swear some of my favourites were in some of those other shows, Mr. Palmer. Also joining us as well and keeping up to date with all your comments in the chat room, it's the lovely Elliot.
Evening, everyone. I look at it a bit different. It's because I've got a new camera, so I solid 6 out of 10 instead of a 4. I know, lucky you. Really excited for tonight because some of my favourites are in the show, and like we just seen here from Kane, 2 of their top 3 in the show tonight. So I think we've got a good bunch tonight. But yeah, in the comments, make sure you come along with us.
I was going to say, we have an amazing bunch tonight. Now, guys, some basic admin just before we start. Literally, comment away in the chat room. Elliot will be chatting to you. If I get a chance, I'll be chatting to you. The panelists love hearing from you as well. Also, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. Keep up to date with all the latest content. We've got our interviews from Amsterdam going live at the moment. 2 of tonight's artists we actually met in Amsterdam. Stu did a wonderful interview with Ochman, Poland's entry. That's live on the YouTube channel. Go and watch that after the show and catch up with them. I also had the privilege of interviewing the Rasmus from Finland as well. Go and check that out as well after the show, obviously. Stay in your seats now. Don't go anywhere else. Just stay here. An hour, review it, have some fun, predict whether these songs are going to qualify or not, and then move on. Now, guys, first off the rank this evening it's Switzerland. Marius Bear is representing them with the song Boys Do Cry. They're competing 4th in semi-final 1. And they last won in 1988, but recently they've actually undergone a bit of a resurgence. They were 4th in 2019. They were 3rd in 2021. Previous to that, they'd only actually qualified for the grand final 4 times since the semi-finals began. So they're definitely on the way up. I've got this down as a moving ballad, and I think this has the potential to do reasonably well in Turin. And let's go straight over to Elliot. What are your thoughts on Switzerland's song and their chances this year?
I absolutely adore this. I really do. Like, I remember hearing this for the first time. I just kind of went, oh, this is really sweet. It's like John Lewis turned up to 11. I'm sure several people will mention it sounds like a John Lewis ad, because it does. But it's really sweet and charming. And I love the lyrics. I think it's got some of the best lyrics in the contest this year. You know, he'll shed more than just a crocodile tear. You think the wolf is really bad, but actually he's quite soft. And, you know, when you really listen to it, it's a really emotional heart on your sleeve song. which we don't get a lot of. I know Felix did Boys with Emotions, and I was quite cross about that because it almost felt like he was mocking mental health about it all and trying to make it a bit fun, and when it's a very serious topic, whereas this is very straight down the line, very emotional, heartfelt. It is a bit one note, and it is a bit slow, and I understand why people don't love it. I do think it's the most underrated song this year. People aren't giving it a fair shot, but he's a stunning singer. He's got a lovely low voice, which complements the sort of like piano in the song lovely. Don't know what they're going to do for staging. No idea, because the music video is just a boy playing dress up, and then, you know, it's him, but as a child sort of thing. Yeah, I really, really, really want this in the final. I don't think it's going to do what Jean did, but I do think this is a potential to be a real big jury hit. And I hope it does well. Plus, he's not bad to look at, I'm not going to lie. But the song on its own merit is incredible, and it's true. Boys do cry. It is a thing. And I think this song is, you know, unashamedly honest about the subject matter, and I think it's beautiful.
Hey, thanks for that. Now, someone who knows a lot about staging, because I'm sure they work in certain circles, who might even be able to predict for us what we might actually see if they had the job, maybe. It's the lovely Donna. What do you reckon Switzerland will do with this song on stage?
It's quite a difficult one, I think, this one, because I don't think they need to overcomplicate it. It does need something to bring the story out. Like the video did quite well in putting it all into context, I think. Honestly, I think the best thing in my mind at the moment is something similar to Ryan O'Shaughnessy's performance, with the two dancers in the background, the pianist in the corner, just keeping it very simple, very low-key, and presenting the song on the vocal straightforward. You can add a bit of context through that dance in the corner. So something like that, I think, might work.
Interesting. It would be interesting to see if they did a take on Ryan O'Shaughnessy's song, because obviously that took let's be honest, what everyone thought in 2018 was a potential non-qualifier, shall we say, up to something that was so much more than that. And there was a lot of hype that built around it at the time as well. Let's go to Martin. Where does this sit? You've given us great spiels about how you've got all your rankings. You've got these charts lined up in this office. You've got, you know, arrows going up, arrows going down. Where's this one sit, Martin?
I've just got my Eurovision scoreboard. That's all I use. Anyway, 18. And it's mainly because Harry Connick Jr. is alive and well and living in Switzerland, because it's that sort of voice, that sort of mellow sound that we get from Marius. And I do like this. It's a great performance, because he has done a live performance in Switzerland that was online. And this could either be a wow and something that we're not expecting to do well and really qualifies well, gets lots of votes, or it's going to be, I think, more like a Panda type performance in Tel Aviv that just gets totally overlooked and does nothing. So I think, as people have been saying, it's down to the staging. In a way, it probably doesn't need a lot of staging, because he's very charismatic on stage when you saw this online performance. And so I could see it getting through, but I could also see it not getting through. I do like it. The video's nice, but I don't expect we're going to see anything of the video in the staging, because, you know, well, apart from the fact that it's all about kids. Yeah. We know that they're not allowed. So yeah, you know, it's one of those that it's definitely a good song to listen to, but I got no clue how it's going to do.
It seems like a mystery. I'm looking forward to seeing your thermometers later. Matt, let's just go to you on this then. What's your take on the entry?
I think he's got a really good voice. I think it's a good song. As Elliot was saying, it does sound like something from a John Lewis advert, but I just found it really depressing. After sort of about half a minute, I just thought, oh, I'm really sick of this now. And to be honest, listening to it, I just couldn't wait till it's finished. Yeah, I found it very depressing, quite repetitive as well. He talks a lot about the rivers running dry and things like that. And I do think that Switzerland now they've reminded me of how Netherlands were in 2013. They sort of did well 2013. The next year did well, but then the year after that, they didn't qualify, and I think this could happen to Switzerland. This could be the year that actually they don't qualify. I think it could do well with the juries, but I think the televote, this is really not going to do very well at all, I don't think.
Oh, do you know what? I almost feel like you're sounding an 11th place warning there, Matt.
Yes.
In that the juries are going to eat it up and it will just kind of skim across. As actually outlined there by Dr. Ross, who said borderline qualifier finishing 8th to 12th in semi-final 1. Dodgy territory indeed. Nicholas, do you see this as dodgy territory, or do you see this as actually punching its way through?
Yeah, I think a lot of what has been said already, I think, fits very well. I don't remember this song after listening to it, and I only remember little bits of it right now trying to think of this song. It's not that it's a bad song, and it's not that it's performed badly. It's just one of those songs that's just, when you listen through the whole album, this isn't one of those you're gonna remember. And I think it's good for the song that it is in the first semifinal, because I think it had a way better chance there. Had it been the second semifinal, it would have been forgotten. So it's gonna be down there in the bottom as well. I think it could qualify if they keep the staging intimate, and if they keep the focus on the emotions and the lyrics, and actually trying to use those 3 minutes to get the audience to understand the message that they're trying to get across. Because if they do too much with the staging, the whole message of the song is going to get lost, and then it's just a forgettable ballad. So they really have to work with that intimacy, and if they can do that, it could be very magical and very beautiful. So we'll see what happens.
There's someone who's always magical in my eyes. The lovely Oban, wrap this up for us.
Tom, on several occasions, I really agree with Elliot. I think it's one of the two songs that is the most underrated for me. Montenegro and Switzerland. I really do believe that these two songs are very good quality. For some reason, people don't feel connected. And it's also a song that just puts me in a dilemma between my head and my mind, my heart and my mind. So my heart really feels for him and the song and his story and his singing and his storytelling. And my mind is like, just needed something in this song. It just needed something to be a little bit more memorable. Just something, it's just a 3 seconds nuance in the song, and just needed something to just pop out. And for that reason, I think at the end of the performances, when it's the voting time, I think this song will not be 18th place on any of our scoreboards, but I think it will end up 11th and 12th in all of our scoreboards. And only solely for that reason it will not qualify, in my opinion. But it's not because it's a bad song, it's just not going to make it to the top 10 of enough people.
No, I totally take that on board. And on that note, guys, can we get out our highly technical, highly precise, up-to-date technology? Yes, it is the thermometer. If you are new to ESC Fan TV and are actually thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Essentially, the rules are very simple. The question is, will Switzerland qualify from its semi-final? If you think yes, give us a thumbs up in the chat. If you think no, it is a middle finger. If you think no, it's a thumbs down. If you think it's borderline, it's a middle finger. Wow, I did a really rubbish job of explaining that. Just don't tell Stu. Right, so, right, guys, do we think this is going to qualify after 3? 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's close, but I'm going to say it's a tie between the thumbs down and the borderliners. Elliot's the only one with the thumbs up. Let's look in through the chat there. Chris has got thumbs down. Anita's got thumbs down. Anya's thumbs up. Kane's in the middle. We've got someone on Facebook with thumbs up. Vanya is thumbs down. Phil's thumbs down. Thomas is thumbs down. Dr. Ross is in the middle. I think this is going to have some issues. This is going to have some issues qualifying, isn't it? But as always, we wish Marius all the best in Turin in a few weeks' time. Now, guys, let's play a little game. What is the title of Armenia's song? Snap! Yeah, there we go. Right, so we are on the taxi rank and we are heading off to Armenia. Yes, it's Rosa Linn representing them this year. They're 17th. They're the last act to perform in semi-final one. They are preceded by the much fancied Norwegians performing Give That Wolf a Banana. And this is a very different song in contrast. I've got this moving guitar drum beat, folksy type number. Now, Armenia haven't qualified for the grand final since 2017. Their high point was 4th. That was in 2008 and 2014 with Aram MP3. What do my panel think is going to happen to Snap? Martin, kick us off.
Well, of course, were they the last or one of the last to be revealed? And nobody really knew much about Rosa Linn. And we had this teaser with her, I assume, wandering around Yerevan, maybe, and saying who she was. And then that effectively she was thinking of leaving the music business and that she was spotted by the Armenian delegation and her song was picked up. And you thought, whoever did that, excellent work. Because this, for me, is a wow. This is a sleeper hit this year. You've got Snap itself is an earworm. It just sticks in my head. It just goes round and round. It's sort of got maybe country vibe. I don't know, maybe not Taylor Swift, but that sort of thing. And I can remember the song all the way through. The chorus sticks in my head. And then we had the added bonus of when we had Israel calling and we were all thinking, what's she going to be like? She came out bright, all these diamonds on her outfit, but she just commanded the stage and she's only 21. It's as if she'd been doing it for years and she's just been busking in Armenia. And then she was amazing in Amsterdam as well. And she was working the crowd in Amsterdam. And I think that she is going to be one of the stars of Eurovision in Turin. And I've got her down as my number 7. And it wouldn't surprise me if Armenia got a top 10 out of this and everyone will go, where did that come from? But yeah, I think Armenia, obviously they won Junior Eurovision. They're not going to win Eurovision, but I think they're going to have a damn good result this time. No staying in the semi-finals. This is going to be a really good year.
Do you know what? If I didn't know any better, Martin, I'd suggest you've been down the betting shop with Stu lately.
No.
You gave that.
I'm keeping my tenors, don't worry. So.
I never said you'd bet 10 quid. I mean, I'm last of the big spenders, me, 50 pence. It's all that's needed.
This
if you can buy a pint off a winning entry, it's a good year. Nicholas, are you sharing the love for Rosa Linn?
Well, I feel like people are already going to know kind of what I'm going to say because we've already seen I think 2 people in the comments already have mentioned, sounds like something that could be from Dansk Melodi Grand Prix. It could, and I like it. I think it's cute, and I love this style. I love this kind of folky pop sound. It's something that I also listen to outside of the Eurovision bubble. So I think it's very cute, and I think she performs it very well. I watched her performance at Israel Calling, and I feel like it was really great. It was one of the highlights of the evening for me. But what I don't like, and what holds me back from having this song in my top 10 is the lyrics. I feel like some of the lyrics are just a little bit too, I almost want to say a little bit too junior Eurovision. I feel like you could put this in junior and you could put the song that they won with last year in Eurovision and it would work because the whole snapping 1, 2, where are you? It's very simple rhyming and the song has a lot of that in it. And it just ruins the experience a little bit for me because I think she is a great performer. I think she has great potential. And if she can use Eurovision as a springboard to get out there, I think she can have a fantastic international career in the next coming years. But the song is just a little too simple for me to like fully get into it.
Hey, but you know what, Nicholas? Sometimes simple works, doesn't it? On Eurovision.
It can, definitely.
Unfortunately, the only example I can think of for this is basically Say Na Na Na, and I feel like that's actually quite insulting towards this song, but simple does work sometimes. Elliot, yes, I know.
You did not just compare Rosa Linn to Serhat, did you?
No, I just said I wasn't going to compare Rosa Linn to Serhat, but it made a good point, I think.
I'll dig you out of this hole and just tell you what I think of the song, then, shall I?
Preferably, yes.
I mean, I have to agree with Harry here. Like, it's different and quirky and memorable. But also, when I first heard this, was not a fan. I think my initial line when I wrote down was, this song could put coffee to sleep, because it was so dull when I first heard it. I'm thinking, it's Armenia. It's going to be something in your face or a bit ethnic or a bit different to make them stand out. And as Nicholas said, it's very Danish, very middle of the road, very safe. I like Dance Melody Grand Prix. I do like this song now. It's very catchy, especially when she sings You're Still in My Heart. The way she does that vocalization or that like run is very easy to remember and sing along with. But I have to agree, some of the lyrics are quite wordy, like I've been standing out in the rain to put the fire in my heart. I was like, it's just very wordy and easy to trip over. So it's hard to sing along to. And yeah, the snapping 1, 2, where are you? Like, it's not great. It's quite an interesting story that, the Tamara Kaprelian set up this new music agency. She's got a bunch of American writers on the song with Tamar on it to make it Armenian. And yeah, it's quite interesting for them. But yeah, it's so un-Armenian. I don't think that's a bad point, but it just caught me off guard. It's very safe. It'll do respectable in both the jury and the televote. Is it a winner? No. Would it qualify? Probably. It'll do mid-table in the final. I can only think they're closing because they've got some big staging, like someone put in the chat room. And the only thing I can think of is, to follow with the Denmark theme, is she borrowing Leonora's giant chair? Because in the music video, she's on top of a house and it flies.
I really hope she doesn't do that. I really hope that doesn't happen. Are they going to do something
similar, where she's on a big plinth and like she's flying through the clouds?
She could be on a giant house. It
and
could be a cross between.
Look it up.
It could be a cross between Mickey's lavender, big like colourful house thing staging, and Leonora's chair. This could be it, guys. We may have cracked it.
This is why we're not in charge of staging of any delegation
yet. Sorry, I mean, obvious. I think we could. I think we could do that. Oban, what's your take? What's your take on Armenia?
That was my only check. Anyway, so first of all, I'm very disappointed, Tom, in you. You just the comparison you made to Say Na 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 in that context is just like, how dare you? Say Na 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 is a masterpiece. Okay, moving on. 2022. Snap. It's absolutely crowd pleaser, like the opposite of what was the last song we were talking about? Switzerland. Yeah, opposite of Switzerland. Exact the same way. Switzerland, I said, gonna stack between 11 to 12. Snap will be around 8 to 9 on everyone's list, and hence the reason, with a couple of diaspora voting in there, 10s and 12s here and there, and 2s and 3s and 4 everywhere, and they will definitely qualify, in my opinion. And it's absolute crowd pleaser. But knowing the Armenian broadcaster performance, lazy performance choices, I am still scared that they somehow gonna fuck it up in the staging wise. I'm so hoping that Rosa, Linn, being the tasteful artist she is, hopefully she will take the control of staging, and hopefully she will guarantees some financing behind her staging, and hopefully we will have some good, decent staging that will, make this story happen for her and qualify for the final.
Do you know what? I think this is going to make it. I do. I have a sneaking suspicion, a very sneaking suspicion. Now, Donna, there has been allegations that this is un-Armenian, but as I said earlier, this hasn't Armenia haven't qualified since 2017. Surely, if you haven't qualified for 5 years, now is exactly the time you rip up the rule book and go for something different.
I couldn't agree more actually on that, because I actually had to check 3 times in different websites to make sure I was listening to the right song from that country, because it really doesn't sound anything what you'd expect from Armenia at all. But it's fabulous. I quite like it. Armenia was sitting actually, before knowing it, sort of near my bottom. I'm not going to place anyone just because they're a country, regardless, like some people do before they've even heard the songs. And I thought, okay, when I first heard it, yeah, it's really catchy. It'll stick in my head. Yes, I think the simplicity works in that sense because you can remember a lot of the song. And her voice is very, it's still distinctive enough, but it's a sound that we've sort of heard a lot before. To me, it reminded me of a Twinings tea advert. I don't know if anyone else sort of gets that. So we've gone from the John Lewis Christmas ad now to the tea adverts. But, you know, that's fine. And it is a bit safe. I don't mind that at all. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It can easily sneak in with a few of those votes and creep up and up and up and up in the juries and the televotes. So it's got every possibility of qualifying. And I actually like its position. After Subwoofer, it's distinctive enough that it should stand out. And it's not totally sleepy. I think after seeing her in Israel Calling as well, she was fab. Really brought it to life. So, but as Owen was saying about the staging, I have no idea how they're going to do this. What crazy stuff they're going to come up with, and I hope it's not too crazy.
Do you know what? It'll be interesting to see. And do you know what? I like your shopping analogy, mainly because thinking about it, more people buy tea than actually shop at John Lewis as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, just throwing it out there. Matt, 17 out of the last 20 semi-final songs have qualified, according to Dr. Ross in the chat. Surely this song should be no exception. Wrap it up for us.
I think it's a good song, but yeah, I think the problem with it is it's very sort of middle of the road. I think it's very British sounding. I'm not really a fan of it myself, but then seeing comments online, seeing like the scoreboard app, it does seem to be doing quite well. The only thing that does worry me that it is on straight after Norway, I believe, and I think Norway is going to sort of grab a lot of people's attention, and then I think Armenia is going to be a bit sleepy for some people. So yeah, I think it's going to be a bit borderline whether it qualifies or not. I think it's a good song, but yeah, it's just a bit too middle of the road for me.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Right, guys, time to get those thermometers out. Don't forget to play along at home as well, people. It's a thumbs up for a qualifier. It's a thumbs down for a non-qualifier. It's in the middle if you think it's like Madonna and a borderline. So, after 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry, Matt. It's the thumbs up that will win on that one. Panel almost being universal, but we think that Rosa Linn is going to qualify in Turin. And that's echoed by a whole host of thumbs up across the board from everyone in the chat room. Thanks to everyone that's contributing to that. A couple of borderlines there. Phil giving it a borderline. Anita giving it a borderline. Harry giving it a thumbs up and a snap at the same time. I like that. Always nice to see people play along with my jokes at home. Elliot would prefer that I wasn't encouraged. I know it's a bit like a don't feed the animals sign at a zoo, but you know, we move with it. We move with it. Now, moving swiftly on, people. The next song out of the taxi rank this evening is Poland. This may shock you, but they have one thing in common with Armenia in that they haven't qualified for a grand final since 2017 either, when the song Flashlight came 22nd. Ochman's representing them this year with the song River. It's in semi-final 2. It's going to be performed 14th. Poland obviously came second in their debut in 1994, which was and has been their high point. I think he's got a good chance of perhaps getting at least maybe second place on this. Coldplay-esque. I think this has got quite a nice cool vibe to it. Let's see what my panel think. And I'm going to start off with the lovely Matt.
So this for me is, I think, probably one of the best songs I think Poland's ever sent. I think it's going to do really well. I think definitely going to qualify. I think top 10 as well on the final. I think it's a good song. It grabs your attention. I think he's got a great voice as well. I love it when he does like the high-pitched bits as well. Very catchy. As I say, I think it's going to do really well. And yeah, it's really nice when you see countries sort of struggling at Eurovision, but then they really turn things around. And I think Poland's really going to turn things around this year, and it's going to be great to see.
Do you know what? Yes, and I think this is absolutely the type of thing that Poland really needs to do. So let's go through to who should we pick on next? Let's go to Martin on this one. Martin, did you have the privilege of interviewing Ochman on Saturday as well?
No, I didn't. I tried him right at the end, and there was still about 3 people left, and you wanted to leave, so I thought, oh well, that'll do. So,
oh, I see. It was
no,
my fault.
No, to be serious, no.
You hear that bus coming?
He was very but no, he's very popular, and he's very popular on the chat room. Or, I mean, you know, LL Cool J, ladies love Cool James. LL Cool because everyone's loving Ochman, all the ladies. So, you know, great vocalist. I think he's probably got one of the best voices this year, in my opinion. But it's quite interesting watching him perform solo at the promo parties, because he's, you know, brilliant voice, projection, but not much really in the movement or connection at all. And we got that in the national final in Poland, and that's the main thing. I think he needs somebody on stage. Obviously, we're going to see what staging is in Turin. I think he needs somebody on there, not as a distraction, but as an addition, because I think alone, he didn't really come across, you know, like you're thinking, all right, great voice, but yeah, it wasn't really much to look at, you know, to what he was doing. Whereas in the national final, they focused on the drummer, on the cellists, on the backing singers. So I think he needs support, and he'll get that in Eurovision. I've got him down as 10th. I still think that this is Poland's best chance of a top 10 for years. And yeah, it's a great song for me, but I think staging wise, hopefully he's got some assistance in Turin.
Hey, I know. Do you know what? I think he will. I think with the pre-party train, I think literally you're thrust out, you know, on your own onto the stage. I think he handled it well. But obviously, I mean, in Amsterdam in particular, for those of you that haven't been to Amsterdam Eurovision in concert before, the only thing I can think of to describe it to you is watch some performances from Copenhagen 2001 Eurovision Song Contest, and how the stage swallowed up most of the artists, and you get an idea of what the stage is like in Amsterdam. Now, let's pick up this thread a little bit further and go to the lovely Oban. Surely Ochman must feature in at least one of your top 10s.
Tom. Poland. Christian, what have you done to me? Tom, I look at his picture, my heart starts to speed up, heartbeat. I listen to his voice, gets a little bit faster, and it's just 3 minutes of climactic experience all around. And
it's a contender for your cultural orgasm, Oban.
I mean, not necessarily cultural, but so I don't know. It's just like I could feel like you're getting closer to me, and I already had a stage fright. Like, how am I gonna control myself? But I just like fucking love him as he's just lovely personality. I watched the interview as well. He's just genuinely nice person, and I do believe that for some reason in a year like this, when there's no clear winner, there is a room for an Ochman to take this home with a massive vocal and a massive staging. And I think it's about time that we go to a place for the first time in Eurovision history. And I think Poland is offering us that. So I think Poland is proving that when you invest in your artist, when you invest in your song, when you invest in your staging, there's no chance that you cannot win this whole thing. So I wish all the best, my dear Ochman, all the way.
Hey, thanks, Owen. I noticed Stu is back from the bookies in the chat room there because he's actually started posting, saying that, likely to get Poland's second best ever result, which possibly means that he's had 10 quid on it, guys. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. Donna, does Poland do it for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. What's not to like? He's very handsome. I'm sure nearly every girl and occasionally a boy, actually agrees. What's not to love? No, he does have one of the best vocals in the competition. We do have a really strong set of vocalists this year, actually, and he's very much up there. This is definitely not one I'm ever going to skip on my playlist. I love the range he goes through. It's got a beautiful melody to it. It's not quite in my top 10, but we'll see. That staging is going to be crucial for me, I think. But all the performances I've seen him do so far, spot on. So let's hope. He's going to qualify. How can he not qualify?
Oh, easily qualifying. I have this down as an easy qualifier. Elliot, do you have this down as an easy qualifier?
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's not even entertain the fact, will it or won't it qualify? It's going to sail through. I imagine it'll be one of the first songs announced to qualify, so they can almost manipulate which semi-final it can go in, so they can give it a really good slot in the final. Because this is, without a doubt, if we're going to go to a country which has never won before, this is the country that's going to do it. I will happily be waving this on Saturday night, because the song is incredible. Fun fact, he was actually shortlisted to represent Poland last year before TVP went, let's save a bit of money and just hire our mate Rafał, because that went so well for them. Oh boy, I still get nightmares.
I hear.
You weren't there for the rehearsals.
But no, that was more of a car crash, but they went for a ride afterwards.
It was an experience, let's leave it at that. This song it's beautiful. It's melodic. His voice is very strong, but it's also quite operatic at points, so he has a lot of jury range. He won The Voice Poland, so we know he's a good singer. We know he can do it live. He can win over an audience then. He's built for this. He knows what he has to do. The staging in Poland, wasn't brilliant. They did focus on other things and that sort of Windows desktop background, but that's just a stock thing to just do a national final. That completely changed, I'm sure, because if Poland are smart and if TVP are smart, they know they've got a potential win on their hands with the voice and the song. And they know, and we've seen it from Junior, they want to host. They put on a bloody good show the 2 years they hosted Junior. And I want to go there for Eurovision because give them the budget and the expense to do a proper show, twice or 3 times the size of Junior, it could be fantastic. And this song is the song to do it. If it's not going to win, it'll be top 5. It'll definitely be up there in the jury vote, first or second. And I would love this to win. And he's 22. How dare he?
I know, as Phil and Michelle would say, the beer's cheap in Poland as well.
Now,
Nicholas, wrap this up for us. Dr. Ross said, could Poland challenge Sweden for the semi-final to win? Very presumptuous there from Dr. Ross that Cornelia Jacobs is going to win semi-final 2. But could it indeed? What do you think?
I don't like being the last one talking about this because I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype about this song at all. When I heard it the first time, you go into the verses and I think, okay, this is the kind of sad boy genre, some of the similar that Duncan Lawrence has done. I'm going to really like it. The chorus comes on and it crashes and burns for me. I absolutely do not understand why it has to go into an upbeat chorus that sounds so cheap, in my opinion. I don't get the chorus at all. The verses are great. He's a skilled performer. He sounds great. He knows how to, because it's hard to do an intimate performance, but he does deliver it every single time. When you watch him perform, you can tell he cares about the song. He's into it. He's great. There's nothing wrong with him, and I would love to champion him. But the song, for me, I can't see this in the top 10 because I don't think the song has that kind of quality, and it's mainly the chorus for me. The chorus ruins the song, and I hope someone at some point can explain to me like why the song has to do that, why it has to go into that like upbeat kind of thing, because I don't think it fits at all. And I'm sorry I had to end it on a sour note. I love Polish people. Poland is a great country. Love them. Would love to see them win someday, but not with this song, unfortunately. And yes,
Well,
I will be getting a lot of haters in the comments, and that's fine. I'm
although
okay with
Phil
it.
has agreed with you, Nicholas. Can't believe that he's agreeing with you. So,
Nice.
do you know what? This is the thing. We are all about honest opinions. And actually, you know, it's not a crime to have an opinion on a song. Variety is what makes us at the end of the day. Just as Stuart has expressed variety by just, you know, giving a little prod to Open and suggesting that Cyprus won't qualify. Bit like a red rag to a bull. But it's quite interesting. Guys, time to get your thermometers out. Again, thumbs up for a qualifier, in the middle for a borderline. It's a thumbs down if you think it's not going to qualify. Let's see what people think here after 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, it is dun, 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 the first full house of the evening. It's a thumbs up from the entire panel. It's also a thumbs up from Chris, Agera, Angie, Kane, Dr. Ross, Haley, Vanya, Harry, Anya, John. Well, John's put far too many thumbs up than I can actually see there. Thomas, Edia, Stuart, ESC Fan, Phil Harrison, loads of people. I think we can say Poland, definite qualifier. Can't wait to see where it comes. And Ochman, we are looking forward to seeing you in action in Turin. Don't forget, guys, after the show, go check out Stu's interview with Ochman as well, where you can get the lowdown on his entry this year as well. Guys, it's the penultimate song, which must mean it's either Mediterranean Greece or not so Mediterranean Finland. Which way are we going? Of course, we're off to the sunny climes of Greece. It's Amanda who is representing them this year with the song Die Together. Interesting choice for a song. Greece won in 2005. They came 10th in 2021, which was their highest place since Alcohol is Free in 2013. They're going to be forming 15th in semi-final 1. This is a gentle ballad, but I think it's got quite a contemporary feel, which I think actually sets it out from a lot of the ballads that we've got this year, because I think there are a huge number of ballads this year. Let's actually see what the panel think. And I'm going straight away to, well, I'm not even sure if the people at home could guess where I might go first with this. Oban, what do you think of Greece's entry?
Tom, like, yet alone listening, thinking about this song gives me tears. Like, I mean, it's just like, I don't know, for those who have watched Game of Thrones, think of the mountain and mountain reaching out into your chest and squeezing your heart. And that's how much heavy I feel when I listen to this song. It's just, I assure you, like I'm ready to bet anyone the beginning of this song will be one of the most monumental moments in Eurovision history. I can feel it. I can see it. I can hear it. This a cappella entry and the place where she goes, rip my heart and take it. Like, just that part. Like, it's just like rip my heart too. Just, I don't want to feel that pain, because she is such a beautiful storyteller. Such a beautiful storyteller. She makes me feel that everything she's feeling while writing or singing this song. So I feel like, please, someone rip my heart and take it away. And please, someone give this girl her love, because she doesn't, nobody deserves to be in this much pain. And I just feel it. And people, get your shit together and start giving your votes to Greece from now, before voting is opened.
Well, alas, being from the UK, I can't actually vote in semi-final 1. But I know there are some people that would. And thank you for the impassioned plea there. And there's lots of positivity in the chat room about it. Elliot, what do you think of this song?
I think it's the pitchforks are going to turn from Nicholas onto me for this song. I don't mind it. I was massively let down when I first heard it. I like it the more I listen to it, but I don't get the hype about the song when people talk about it as a winner. She's a phenomenal singer. And the opening, I get what Oben's saying, but also the thing that threw me at the opening is the auto-tuned robotic voice in it. And listening to her back catalogue after Die Together, that's her thing. But me and my flatmate heard it and he just went, that sounds horrifically auto-tuned. And if they're going to have the backing track, it's going to sound terrible. I don't doubt she can't sing it live. She's a gorgeous girl. As someone said, it's like they've just copy and pasted Lorde and put her on the Eurovision stage. And also, it's just a bit morbid. Die together. If we die together, I won't lose you to another. It's very Romeo and Juliet, this sort of story. It's like Greek tragedy does Romeo and Juliet, which is quite funny because they're in Italy. She will belt her heart out. It will probably sound fantastic, but I'm also concerned the last time we spoke about Greece as highly was Katalin Duska. And in the final, because her voice was knackered, fell apart. Is this maybe a bit too high concept and high art like Better Love to do any damage in the final? And, you know, they've got Norway going after this. So if you're not really feeling Greece, Norway's going to wake you up. And even if you love Greece, is this going to stand out in the recap next to Norway in the semi-final? It will qualify, but I don't think it's going to hit the heady heights of a winner or top 5 in Eurovision. Wish her all the best. Norway will vote for her because she's Norwegian. But is this a winner like everyone thought it was? No, sorry. I know people love Greece and Cyprus so much, especially Oben, but I like the song. It's just not a winner. I'm sorry. And I was so upset because there was so much hype about the song. And then I heard it and I was let down.
Well, I think there's going to be a few pitchforks heading in your direction, Elliot. But
Bring
as
it.
I say, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone is entitled to their view. You know, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what. Well, no, I do know what to say. I've just forgotten. Let's face it. I should have made notes whilst you were talking. Not even going to lie. So I'm just going to go to your fellow pitchforker in crime and go to Nicholas. Nicholas.
You know, it's a good day when both me and Elliot have bad taste in music. That's when you know it's a good day. But you can keep the pitchfork directed towards him at this point because I do actually like this song, and it has been a grower for me. I didn't have it that high up when I first heard it, but I've definitely been listening more to it, and I just really appreciate the craft in the song. It really feels like the song has put a lot of love into it, and I think it's just very well produced, and it sounds great. The music video is a little bit too much sponsored by the Greek Tourism Board for me. Maybe that's just me, but I think it's much more of a tourism advert than it is a music video. But I'll let that slide because I do think she is great. I think it'll do well. I think it could do very well and potentially go up there in the top 15 in the final because it's just a nice number. It's something that's both nice to like have on in the background, but it's also something that can be elevated with a great and interesting staging. So it'll be interesting to see where this is gonna go.
See, nice, pretty, serene. See, these are the types of feelings I have when I listen to Greece's entry. And I need to listen. Lots of people have mentioned in the chat about the live acoustic version with the choir. I am going to have to actually look that up. Matt, have you listened to that version?
So I've not not heard that one. But yeah, in general, the song, I think it's good, but I just miss the days of people like Sakis Rubas. I miss the days when Greece used to send really sort of Greek, authentic sounding songs. And this for me is a good song, but just a bit generic for me. I think one of the songwriters, is it Bjorn? I think he's Swedish. And I think that's the problem with a lot of songs from Eurovision now, that there's a lot of Swedish songwriters. A lot of songs sound quite generic. And for me, I think it's good. I think it will qualify, but yeah, as I said, I miss the days of Greece when they used to send songs by people like Sakis Rubas that used to pull you in, grab your attention, and yeah, I think this will qualify, but yeah, a bit too generic for me.
Oh, don't send me my soapbox, Matt. I'll start getting on my soapbox about how I think countries about and this is, and you are right to mention the kind of generic Swedish songwriter vibe there, because I am starting to become of an opinion, and we are all entitled to our opinions, that when a country sends a song, it should be written, not necessarily sung by, but written by someone that holds citizenship within that country. Should be a song that represents that country, not a song which people have actually just shipped in the songwriters for. Maybe that's just me. I will now put my soapbox away, and I will go to the lovely Martin.
Well, this is written by somebody because she's Greek Norwegian. So, not wishing to shoot that down straight away, but hey. And her co-writer is Norwegian because that's where she's grown up and is based. And she just happens to be Greek descent as well. I love this. When I first heard it, I put, never has the end of a relationship sounded so wonderful. And it's beautiful lyrics. As people have been saying, the video's really nice. It is beautiful scenery in Greece. But the video that everyone's talking about, which is an acoustic and it's got a choir, and it will show you how that auto-tuned effect could sound live in Turin, because it sounds amazing. And they're not people, that's not a machine, that's just a choir of people singing that first bit along with her. And she's amazing, she's got a great voice. This is definitely going to qualify. I could see this being easily a top 10. Juries will love it because they'll just think that, it's so well composed, so well produced. She's got a great voice. And I don't think it's going to have a problem in the semi-final, because you've got Austria with 2 before it. Yeah, we all know. Iceland, which is so mellow, you're sort of on the floor. And then it's before Subwoofer, but this all sounds so different to that, a bit like Rosalind afterwards, that I think there's going to be room for all 3 of them to easily get themselves into the final. But yeah, I love this song. It's not my 11 just purely because there's 10 that I prefer more. But I'm really looking forward to seeing her in the final because I think this is an amazing song.
Hey, and do you know what? I think you're absolutely right. I need to hunt out that choir version. I've not listened to that yet.
Yeah, it's on her. It's on her. It's Manda Tenfjord Music YouTube channel. So it's actually her YouTube channel.
Do you know what you could do, Martin? Just thinking about it. Could you post the link in the chat?
I could indeed. That would be sensible, wouldn't it? So.
Hey. Right, Donna, over to you. Wrap this one up for us.
Oh gosh, where do you begin? I mean, we've got so many extremes here, haven't we? I can never compete with the love that Oban is going to shed all over this one. So I'll just leave those happy vibes there with Oban. I'm sort of sitting on the fence on this one, actually. When I first heard it, I thought, oh my God, beautiful voice. Terribly morbid song. Oh geez, how is this going to go across? And it's grown on me. It's grown on me a lot. And I have heard that choir version, and it is beautiful. So if they can achieve something like that, I think it will work. Because you know what I'm like with any vocoder effects or auto-tune and things like that. It's not that I don't like it. It just has a place, and it doesn't always work for me how it's used in particular songs. So initially that sort of gave me vibes. But yeah, the choir's kind of bowled me over a little bit. So if there's a good combination with that, because it's clear she can sing, she's going to perform well, I think. You want just that little tear in your eye and go, that's what it's about. And I think she has that potential to do it. I agree with Martin. All 3 of that section with subwoofer around it could work really well, because you are going through different extremes, and it could make it so memorable because you've got subwoofer in the middle, if that makes sense. So yeah, this could do extremely well. I don't know who to pick from tonight. who's the best? I'm not even
There's
sure.
still one song to go, Donna.
Oh,
Still
no,
one more to
no.
go. I know. Right, guys, thermometers very quickly for Greece. Thumbs up for qualifier, in the middle for borderline. Thumbs down for not qualifying. We could all guess which way Oban's going to go. I'm not quite sure. I mean, at the moment, it just looks like he's punching a green screen, to be fair. Right, so... right. After 3. 1, 2, 3, go! Hey, it's another full house for people. It's a thumbs up all round for Greece. Shared in the chat by Stu, Harry, Chris, Anita, Vanya, Haley, Dr. Ross, Kane, Anya, ESC fan, Silji. I'm really sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Celia.
And Celia. Thank you, Nicholas. And I'm not even sure what Georgina's symbol actually means. No idea. But it's a thumbs up all round for this one. As we move on to our final song of the evening. It's one of my favourites. It's been purposely held over. And it is, yes, I interviewed them on Saturday. I've met them. They are amazing. It is the Rasmus. They are representing Finland this year. They're opening semi-final 2 with their rock hit, Jezebel. Finland, obviously, no strangers to rock. They won in 2006 with hard rock Hallelujah. That was Lordi. Obviously, Blind Channel and Dark Side came 6th last year. I'm not going to lie. I have a hell of a lot of love for this song. I think it's got an absolutely superb chance to qualify it from the semi-final, despite what some people say, especially given the fact that Israel and Serbia are the 2 songs after it. I think it's got a massive chance to make an impact. I am clearly, totally and utterly in love with this song. It's on my playlist. I've had it running through my head the whole time, and I'm hoping that Donna is going to share some love when it comes to this as well.
How can I not? Oh my God, this is so much in my top 10. This is so close to being my number 1, you would not believe. I loved the Finnish national final this year. It was stunning, and I would have quite happily liked any of those entries, honestly, to represent Finland. But yes, they are perfect to start that semi-final as well, and given the energy and experience that they already have, if they do something really wrong, they're going to have to drastically do it wrong to not qualify from that, because it's such a good song. His vocal, though, I'm a bit concerned about sometimes. It was a little bit shaky, I think, in the national final. But he knows what he's got to do. He's a seasoned professional, and with that gravitas that comes from experience, I mean, I think they are the only ones that are well known in this year, aren't they? Certainly.
I think in terms of the global hit, because obviously they had In the Shadows, didn't they?
Yeah.
2003, 2004.
Absolutely. So it's a little bit of a comeback trial, isn't it? But yeah, it's so good to see them here, and they've got a very accessible form of rock. I think I said that before. It's just so listenable, so you can find something in it, I think, for everybody. And I love his hair.
Do you know what? They are amazing. And they entered UMK on the basis of the fact that the whole COVID lockdown situation. As you can find out if you listen to my interview with the Rasmus after tonight's show. Oban, I share your love of Greece. Do you share my love of Finland?
Hell yeah. I mean, first of all, I have to confess, I sang this song in the office as of this month we're back to office full time, and the only song every time just I'm overwhelmed by the workload and everything. It's just I just go like Jezebel, and I freaking love the chorus, and I freaking love Lauri's abs, and he's just like the guilty pleasure, not Croatia, Finland is my guilty pleasure. And so definite love. It's just no question. I don't agree with any criticism of the song or of the performance. They're just freaking good. It's just not easy. Like, even if it's one single, I don't care how far they've gone in the international stage. Even if you get through one single, one song through the countries, like they don't know where the Finland is, you're a massive talent and you deserve, you earn it. And not for their past, but it's not easy to be the artist that they are today. Doesn't all happen overnight, and they definitely deserve the credit.
This is true. Can also say they've done an awesome cover of Ghostbusters, which you can also find on Spotify. Trust me, you will never ever listen to Ray Parker Jr.'s version ever again. Matt, are you sharing the love here?
Yes, loving this song. Really liked it when I first heard it in the national final. It's a song that really grabs you, pulls you in. I think Finland are going to get a really good result again this year. I'm sure this will qualify, and I think it's going to be top 10 again. As Donna was saying, not too sure about the vocals, but I'm sure they will work on that. I believe it's going to be the first song in semi-final 2, so I think it's going to be a great opener. And yeah, as I say, I think it's going to be another great result for Finland again.
Yeah, and we've got Dr. Ross there with the stats. 11 out of the last 20 songs to open a semi-final have qualified. So the odds are definitely in their favour. I think these guys are actually, you know, they are in it to win it. They do actually want to win Eurovision. And it wouldn't surprise me if part of it with their vocals, I mean, their vocals on Saturday I thought were spot on. But I do get the impression that the type of people with the experience that they would hang back on their vocal for the certainties to then push themselves further for the moments that really matter. Elliot, there's no point asking you about choreography for this song because, to be perfectly honest, I don't think there's going to be a lot of choreography going. But you know, can we see you? You know, you're going to be getting yourself a Rasmus style wig to mosh out to this one?
No, I don't think I'll even get the feathers either, to be honest. And it's not because I absolutely adore Sign Kicks and they should have won the national final because they had a better song and staging concept and vocal, in my opinion. Not bitter at all. I do stand by they partly won the national final based off their name. I think the UK will give them a lot to their vote points because it is the Rasmus, because it is a bit of a holy fuck, the Rasmus are doing Eurovision moment. The song is not good enough, in my opinion. It's one note, it's everything we've heard before. Even the song title, Jezebel, is nothing unique. They're great performers, don't get me wrong. I also have a massive issue with the lyric, a girl who looks like a boy. There's something about that ever since I first heard that just doesn't sit right with me personally. I just think it's a bit tone deaf, I guess, especially in the modern world. I think they'll scrape through or are just dropping out. But I remember, 4 years ago, we were saying, oh, Sarah, she's an international name. She's going to do great. She scraped through that semi-final and then was propping up the leaderboard in the final. I think the Rasmus is going to do the same. The song isn't bad. It's just not good enough to do any damage in this competition this year. And that's the reality of it. It's not the song is bad. It's not a bad song. Just the standard is higher this year. So, little disappointed, but I can't fault their stage presence and their performance, but I can their song and their vocal at times.
I totally get that. Can I just add, though, there is one difference between the Rasmus and Sarah Alto. That's the Rasmus can sing. So,
I can sing. Take that back. And she can sing while being spun upside down. I will have no Sarah slander.
Debatable. Let's go to Nicholas. We love you, Sarah.
I love that debatable. No, but I'm a little bit torn on this song, I'd say, and not only because my partner has this as her number one, but I think, here's the thing, right? Elliot said it there as well. It's a good song, and I do enjoy listening to it. When this song first came out, I was on a call on Discord with one of my friends who is very much into the kind of emo rock genre and has listened to In the Shadows a lot, and I played it for her when the song came out, and she was she was lukewarm to it. She said it's definitely not the best song they've done, and I agree with that. It also wasn't my favorite in UMK. I think UMK was so incredibly strong this year, and I think plenty of the songs in there, I think almost all of them could have gone to the final of Eurovision. And I'm a little bit torn if I think this is going to go to the final or not, because while I think it's a nice song, I also think it doesn't really have that kind of like memorable quality to it that makes you remember it and makes you go, oh, this makes me feel something, so I'm going to go in and vote for it. It's more the kind of song that you bob along to and think, this is great, and then you just kind of forget to vote for it. But I think they have a huge favor in opening the show, and I've seen that the broadcasters talked a lot about that they have a big show coming up. So I think if they can do the staging right and they can open the semifinal right, then they have a good shot. Then I think this could definitely go to the final. And lastly, I just want to say something that I've noticed with them that I think is important to mention is that I'm so happy that they are doing Eurovision as an established act because they want to do Eurovision. I think it's so great seeing them at the pre-parties, getting excited, being in interviews. They want to be here and they are excited about it. And we've just seen so many times that established acts go there to try to revive their career. And all the British people in this chat will be like, yeah, we remember. So it's a thing we've seen over the years, right? And I just love that this generally doesn't feel like the Rasmus trying to make it big in Europe again, but doing this because, like Gloria said, getting out of Corona, getting out of lockdown times, and just challenging yourself and doing something different. And I think that shines through in their performance in the end.
Yeah, do you know what? I think you're absolutely right, and it is. I mean, these guys are so passionate about Eurovision as well. I have a lot of love for them. Some people may have noticed this. Martin, you have the privilege of wrapping this one up for us.
Okay, well, based on the UMK performance, his vocal was pretty shaky. But if you look at semi-final 2, and if you've been watching the promo parties, and if you're at Amsterdam, I could at least put 5 or 6 of the other acts in semi-final 2 below them now, purely based on the vocals. And they had a kick-ass show in Amsterdam. They're the right act to open semi-final 2. I mean, it's a no-brainer, really. I would have put them up front because everyone would be going, oh, the Rasmus. Oh, this is good. And it's a good setup for the whole show. And it was a great performance. And at UMK, it was a pretty damn good performance as well. I think they're going to sail through to the final. I don't think there's going to be any question about it at all. That might be, as Elliot said many times, based on the name. And yeah, fair enough. You know, that you could cynically say that that's why the Finnish people had gone for them. But they're immensely popular in Finland. That's why they got through. I don't know how well they're going to do in the final. Obviously, they won't be opening because, you know, even if they're in first half, they wouldn't be opening if they're opening semi-final 2. But yeah, it's a great song. I don't think it's ever going to be one of my favourites from this year, but I can see that Finland will get a decent result. It won't be up with Blind Channel by any means, but I could see it sort of like being safe middle table, and Sara Aalto is a far better singer. Sorry.
Well, debatable. Now, all I'm saying is debatable. Guys, do you know what, Martin? I do agree. A separate point. I do agree with you. I think it's going to sail through to the final. I think in part because of the countries that are in semi-final 2 as well, are a lot of countries that would rate the Rasmus quite highly based on the name. I think also the fact that like the UK and stuff are in, voting in semi-final 2. I think they're going to get a lot of votes based on that. And also, let's face it, it is a great song as well. Guys, thumbs out for the final time this evening. It is the thumbometer. Do we think Sweden are going to qualify? After 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's a borderline from Elliot and Nicholas. It's thumbs up from everyone else. I'm noticing in the chat we've got a thumbs up. Chris is a thumbs down. Haley agrees with Oban. Anita, thumbs up. Harry, thumbs up. Vanya in the middle. Phil, thumbs up. Dr. Ross, thumbs up. Angie going for the middle. Andrew going thumbs up on Facebook there. In the middle for Kane. Thumbs up from Anya. Thumbs up from Haley. Thumbs up from Georgina. And apparently I said Sweden instead of Finland. Whoops. That was a bit of a mistake. Thanks, panel, for picking up on that one. See, can't get the panelists these days. Anyway, guys, before I ask my panel the most important question of all, which is what is their favourite entry we have looked at so far, this evening, i.e. Switzerland, Armenia, Poland, Greece or Finland, what is your favourite? Don't forget to put an answer to that in the chat as well. Can I just remind you guys to click the like and subscribe button, ding-a-dong the bell, and check out the latest content on the YouTube channel. We've got interviews up at the moment with, just to name a few, Ochman, the Rasmus, Emma Muscar, Stefan, and also the lovely Sam Ryder, who is representing the United Kingdom and will be just one of the songs we look at when we return on Saturday evening. Guys, quick run round. Donna, what's been your favourite entry this evening?
Finland, obviously.
Finland. Oban.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Do I really need to say it's Greece? And it has nothing to do with me being from Cyprus. I will not accept that. It's very, very disrespectful for my opinion.
Yeah. Taken on board. Matt.
I'll go for Poland.
Nicholas.
I'm gonna go for Armenia.
Martin. Hey, it's Armenia. And Elliot.
At fear of butchering the language, Ola de Boyu, which means go fight eagles, Poland.
Hey, and in the chat room, we've got lots of love for Poland, lots of love for Finland, a couple there for Greece. Personally, I'm going for Finland as well. There's a shocker. Guys, you may be thinking to yourself, what is coming up next on ESC Fan TV? There's only one more episode left of The Road to Turin, and it takes place on Saturday night. Yes, it's going to be, wait for it, an excellent show for Easter Saturday, where we're going to be looking at Norway, Austria, Croatia, Sweden, and the United Kingdom. You're going to be in the safe hands of Stu for that show, because I'm off to celebrate Easter somewhere else. I know you're going to miss me, but I may be contributing some views in the chat room, particularly for Norway and the UK. Who knows? But I'd like to say a massive thank you to my panel this evening. A big thanks to Donna.
When I find my mute button, thank you. It's been brilliant. Thanks.
Hey, big thanks to Oban.
Tom, you've been absolutely lovely, and everyone else on the panel as well, and everyone on the chat as well. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, big thanks to Nicholas.
Thank you. It's been great chatting to everyone, and I really hope I'm still allowed to visit Poland, because I'll love to go back someday.
Hey, big thanks to Matt.
Thanks, guys. Nice to see you again.
Big thanks to Martin.
Yeah, thank you very much. Enjoyed that show. All good entries.
Hey, and a big thanks to the person who's been monitoring the chat room all evening. It's the lovely Elliot.
Thank you. It's been so much fun. And thank you, everyone in the chat room. You crack me up every single show. And a big thank you for Tom for hosting and steering this ship and just navigating this madness of a panel.
I'm used to it. Navigating you through the waters to the joy that is the Jezebel. Guys, we'll be back on Saturday in the safe hands of Stu and a whole brand new set of panelists as well. Until then, do check out the YouTube channel for all the latest content and interviews. And until then, it's bye for now.
Hi guys, we are
the Rasmus.
and you're watching ESC Fan TV.